they only go pretty much in one direction. I mean, you can put them in the other way, but you'll see that they're not meant to go that way. Okay, so you just push them in, and the clips sort of hold them in place for the meantime. See how it just goes with the groove? Okay, now after you've cleaned the caliper and all the other parts, you've cleaned the rotor, because when the rotor first comes out, it comes with this layer on it that protects it from rust. So give it if you got brake cleaner, use brake cleaner. If you don't, hot soapy water. I'm going to show you how to change your brakes and your rotors. This is a Mercedes van, but you can try it on other vehicles as well. They're all very similar. Alright, to take off the cap, you put a screwdriver in there, a little support there, and that pops out like so. Then, before you raise the vehicle just up so it starts raising. You need to loosen these bolts first. And these here, that comes in your tool kit, isn't good enough. So if you're just going to use that, put a little extension on it. You can raise the vehicle up off the ground. Make sure you don't use a normal car jack. You use proper stands, because you don't want the vehicle dropping on you when you're undoing some very hard bolts. Now what you want to do is remove all the bolts but one. Makes it easier taking off. And when you raise the vehicle, you just raise it up enough so the wheel slides off without no problem. Without lifting it up. Well, taking it off's easy, but putting it back on, it's quite hard to hold it in place and hold the bolts in place. But it's the exact right level, that's easy. Okay, there's a sensor here that you'll need to remove. And now, I find it that you can easily break the clip when you try and pull it out from here. So what I do is I leave it in for now and just unplug it from here. From there. Leave that hang. Now, you got two Allen key bolts in here. You take off the caps. In the new brake pads that I've got, they give you new caps, so these can just go in the bin. Leave them aside just in case you break the new ones. Okay. Now, these Allen keys in there are very difficult to take off. So, not that difficult, but you need some leverage. You can probably do it by hand, but now remember, when you're undoing bolts, anti-clockwise. That was actually quite easy. You might have more difficulty than that. Okay. Also, you might have a different setup where you don't have Allen keys, where there's a bolt on the end, and there'll be another bolt here that you'll have to hold in place or else it'll spin around. Lift this up and you can see when the bolt's out. That's now out. Next is this one here. Now, before this or just after this, you need to tie this on. You don't want to let it hang by all the hoses, because you could damage them. I'll leave that little cap in or else it's just going to drop. So I've got a piece of wire here that I'm just going to thread through. You can use a piece of rope, whatever. Okay, so when you pop this out, like so, the caliper will all come out. watch you don't wreck the sensor. If you do, they're not that expensive on eBay, but it's just annoying. So wrap that up like so. I like wire because you can just twist it without worrying about tying it. It's got a little bit of pressure on that line. I'll fix that later, that's fine. Okay, after that's off, you need to take this off. There's 2 bolts. Preferably use a breaker bar for this. Unless you got like a king chrome where they say you can put all the pressure on the wheels as you want. Oh, yeah, you can undo these bolts. See how the sensor is now very easy to take off. I'll remove it completely and then take the sensor off. It just slide it out. Very simple once it's like that. But as you can see, this one's sort of broken from the previous person that's done it. Maybe me. Sorry, bad video, Jeff. I have my hand like that. Hold your hand there because it will drop. And if your rotors are fairly worn out, you'll need to pull the brake pads out. And that's how you take it apart. Now you'll need to wash this. I'll take the brakes out, obviously. You slide them out like so. They're in little clips. Wash all this nice and good. And you want to get the hose out or wash this, you can use brake cleaner and clean them all up. Try not to use degreaser on some sections, obviously. Stay away from the degreaser, use brake cleaner. These little clips come out, so you clean it all up. Take off the rotor if you got the rotor. You can give it a slight little tap. Helps free up the little hex key. Now you might need a bit of leverage. Make sure this is in properly. You don't want to round the thread. And you can hold the rotor in place because they're usually not that hard. This one is kind of hard. Usually rotors, you get a new one of these bolts. The set that I got actually didn't, so I'm going to lube it up before I put it back in so I don't wreck anything. Once you've taken out that screw, your screw might be here or here. It just slides out like so.